Mr. Waltz for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I, too, like my colleague, I don't even know where to begin from a different perspective here. Ma'am, I represent one of the poorest counties in Florida. It's predominantly white. There are whole swaths that are rural, little access to internet, little access to broadband. The only county that actually declined in terms of its median income over time, and much like other counties in Middle America that have been gutted by the loss of manufacturing, that have been overrun with fentanyl, that have an opioid crisis. Are these constituents of mine privileged? It's a primarily Caucasian, I guess, county. Are they privileged systemically?
I certainly can't speak to individuals in your
because I have to tell you, I think where you see the pushback coming here is that people being told that they're privileged because of their skin color or because of, I guess, their ancestry from hundreds of years ago came from Europe. They don't even know. I don't even know where my ancestors came from, but am I white, as the chairman asked? You don't know, right? We have to self-identify.
You have to self-identify.
Right? So I think the issue is multifold. One, we're historically a country of merit. And to hold people or to provide additional resources to one group based on a skin color because of things that have happened in the past and not to another, it's a zero sum in terms of resources. So are we excluding others because of their skin color or sexual orientation or what have you, and providing those resources to other as just an underlying philosophy in your office?
Thank you for the question. No, I will absolutely agree that we are a country where our ideal has been merit, but we have many, many examples of where that's not been the case, that is not the case.
Are we systemically a racist country? Is there systemic racism in the State Department? We'll just keep it within your purview.
We certainly have policies, processes, and procedures that we have to take a hard look at to ensure that that is not the case. I will give you an example, if
sure.
I may.
Quickly, though, please.
Yes, we have changed how we do our selection of one of the most important senior positions in the department, Deputy Assistant Secretary, which is senior. An ambassador comes back to that position. Someone goes from that position to be an ambassador. Until the creation of our office, where we could have a look at and review the processes, those positions were not advertised. They were not competed. You had to be in the know or known and liked by someone to have even the knowledge.
Okay, so we're going to compete the position. Got it.
Right, but I'm
Great.
just... Oh.
What does that have to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Because the people who traditionally have been in the know are largely from a single group. It's
what
knowledge.
Group?
According to the numbers from GAO and our own demographic baseline, the majority of senior positions in the Department of State, over 80%, are held by European Americans. Over 50% are held by men.
Am I a European American?
Is your heritage from Europe?
What's that? I actually don't know.
Okay, then I can't answer that question.
I actually don't know. I can tell you that I married into a Middle Eastern family. My son is half Arab. What box does he check for your office?
So we have expanded the options for self-identifying in the Department of State. There are now 16 options that include a Middle East, North African option. So if your son comes to work for the Department of State, he can identify that way.
So I think we're going to continue to proliferate boxes, right, as we continue to have an interracial country. I mean, we're the melting pot.
As you know, identifying Americans has been done from almost the very beginning of our nation, since 1790.
I know at some point it has to, at some point, I don't know when it stops.
Yeah.
When are we there?
Well, I think when we get our level playing field, when people are not making decisions on what
Ma'am,
we
I don't
look
know that
like or
we'll-
what our background is,
I yield
we'll
my
be
time.
fine.
Gentleman's time has expired.